guys, Mrs. Holly here. I'm so excited that you guys are planning on doing the Science and Engineering Fair this year, and I can't wait to see what you all come up with. Today, I'd like to talk to you about something called controls and variables. And if you plan to do a question following the scientific method, this idea is really important. A lot of times, kids kind of get it a little messed up, and I want to make sure that you get it right. So today, I want to talk to you about my idea for the science fair. My idea was a question, and it's asking, does the design of a car affect how far that car will go? With that question, I'm planning to test 3 different designs of cars and see if it changes how far my car rolls when I let it go off this ramp here. So when I'm thinking about controls and variables, I kind of need to know what a control is and what a variable is. A control is something that never changes. During every single test that I do the exact same thing. And you can have an unlimited amount of controls. That means the more controls you have, the better. A variable is something that changes, and your goal is to only have one variable in your test. Today, my variable is going to be the 3 different designs of cars. Each time I test, I'm going to change my design of cars to see if it affects how far my car goes. That's the one thing I want to change. So then I have to think about all of the controls I'm going to set up to make sure that I'm really testing the design of the car and not something else. So some of the controls that I've thought about are this. First of all, the slope of my runway is going to be the same for every single car that I let off the ramp here. Next, another control is that I'm going to use the exact same runway. I'm going to use the same binder on every single test. I'm also going to use the same base, which means the tires are the same, and the base itself is exactly the same for every single test. Another thing that's going to be exactly the same is the person who's testing it, which is me. I'm going to be dropping the car every single time and measuring how far it goes. Finally, the last control is that I'm going to drop it in exactly the same way. I'm not going to push it. I'm not going to put any force on it. I'm just going to let go. That's a control that's very important because if I push my design, it's not going to give me the correct results. So today, in order to test correctly, I need to make sure that I have lots of controls and one variable. My controls are all of the things that I just listed, the height, the ramp, the slant. My variable is the different designs. So I'm going to put my designs on my car, on the wheels, and then I'm going to test it, letting it go and measuring how far it goes. Now, if I just test it once, that's good. But scientists like to test things lots of times to make sure that they don't get misled by one test result. A lot of people suggest that you do a test at least 3 times to get accurate information. That's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to test each of my 3 designs for my car 3 different times. I'm also going to test my base to see how far it goes all by itself. That will be another test that I can compare with my different designs of cars. I hope today that this has cleared up controls and variables. Hopefully in your mind you're thinking about the controls and variables in your experiment. If you're having a hard time thinking of controls and variables, come see me after school or before school. Ask me questions. I'm here to help. I can't wait to hear from you, and I hope you have a great night.